welcome. My name is Jocelyn and today we are doing a Shop My Stash for the month of June. I think I have a fair amount of things to pull out for the month, but I guess we will see. June is probably my favorite month out of the entire year, so very excited that we are rolling into this month. If you're not familiar with what Shop My Stash is, it is where I go through my entire makeup collection and pull new things out to use for that month. There are some things that I'm going to keep in my current makeup basket, my current box that I hold all of the makeup I'm using at that time. There's some things that I'm going to keep in there and not pull anything new in to use in that category, but I think I've got a handful of things that I want to switch out. This just kind of helps keep my collection rotating. It makes sure that I touch and use at least everything in my collection at least a couple times a year. That way I'm not neglecting anything, but without further ado, let's, I think, go ahead and just jump into it. All right, so moving into this top section right here, of course, this is where I have foundations, concealers, primers, and powders. I am going to circulate out my current foundation for this CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous foundation. This is one of the few foundations that's currently in my shade, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring this in to use. I'm not gonna pull any concealers in, but I am gonna go over here and I think I'm going to pull in maybe this, I think this Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. It's been quite a while since I've used this, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring this in. And then finally, I am gonna pull in a different powder to use. I think I wanna bring in this Becca powder. This is the Hydra Mist Set and Refresh powder because we're getting into the much warmer part of the year. I think that this would be just a good one to have. It does have a very refreshing feel on the skin. It really does feel like you're putting water on the skin. It's a really neat sensation. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring this one in. And I think that's gonna do it for this drawer. All right, moving into my highlight, bronzer, blush, and palette drawer. I am gonna pull in, I think, one of each category this time. Let's see, let's go ahead and start with this bad boy right here. This is the Marc Jacobs Tan-tastic bronzer. I'm actually wearing this today. I kind of cheated a little bit. But this is, of course, what it looks like if you're not familiar. This is an infamous bronzer. I did get this for Valentine's Day and I only just started using it, I think, this week. So I'm really excited to finally break this out. I was waiting until I had used up the bronzer that's in my one of my current project pans, and I'm almost done with that one, kind of spoiler alert. So I thought I would break this one out because I'm expecting to be done with that sometime in June. So yes, very excited about this. All right, next I do want to bring in a highlighter. But what one do I want to bring in? I've kind of been thinking that I wanted to bring in this Kevyn Aucoin highlighter. I got this, I think, last year from Octoly and, of course, Kevyn Aucoin. It's a really beautiful natural highlight. I've used this side quite a bit. It shifts from a more ivory to a more blush toned to a more bronzer tone. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that, but this is a really, really beautiful highlight, very subtle, natural highlight, and I think I want to go ahead and bring this in to use for June. Bringing in a lot of Luxe products, all right. So I think that's going to be it for highlighters. I do want to bring a blush in. Which one? Oh, you know what? I want to bring in the Jouer blush. So this is something I picked up, I think, during the Sephora VIB sale last fall, I believe is when it was. It's a really beautiful blush, and I think this is going to look great this summer, so definitely gonna pull this one in. Okay, and I think that's gonna do it for blush. I do wanna maybe pull in a face palette. I want to pull this in. This is the Becca Jaclyn Hill face palette. This is what, of course, the inside looks like. Getting a little older in my collection, and I know I just pulled in a kind of a blush palette, and then I've got a few highlighters, but I want to try and use this, and I can always roll this over if I don't get much use out of it in June. I can roll this over into July, so we're gonna bring this in. And I think that's gonna go ahead and do it for this drawer. I did pull in quite a few things. We're looking a little empty, so that's good. All right, moving into my palette drawer, I did circulate out 3 palettes, so I think I want to bring, ooh, maybe 2, maybe 3 in. I almost pulled in this palette by Lunar Beauty last month, but then I don't know, I decided not to. I pulled something else and I don't remember what. But I do think I'm going to go ahead and pull it in for the month of June. We've got some fun pops of colors that would be fun to dip into, and then, you know, some nice neutral colors over here. Definitely going to bring this one in. And then I think I'm also going to bring in this Tarte palette. This is the Tarte Be Mermaid Make Waves palette. I actually bought this last year for myself for my birthday. So this is a year old because my birthday's coming up real soon. So in honor of buying it a year ago, I'm gonna go ahead and pop this out to use. So that's 2 palettes. I think want to bring out one more. Ooh, do I want to bring this out finally? I was waiting to use the Tarte Toasted palette just because it's a very warm toned summer palette. Ooh, yes, okay, gonna bring this in too. So this is the Tarte Toasted palette. I actually have not used this yet. I mean, you can probably tell that it looks very unused. I mean, I think I swatched a couple shades, but I have not actually used this yet. So those are the 3 palettes that we're going to, oh wait, no, yeah, those are the 3 palettes we're gonna bring out for this month. All right, so my first drawer in my Muji drawer system, I do want to pull in a couple of lip products to use. Oh, that works better. Not too many because I didn't really use too many of the lip products that I brought in last month. I'm gonna go ahead and bring in this Bite lipstick. This is a Bite Lip Crayon in the shade Glacé. So I'm gonna bring that in, and I actually think that's gonna do it from this drawer. The next drawer we have is this liquid lipstick drawer. Ooh, I'm gonna bring in this Jouer liquid lipstick in the shade Noisette. This is a very kind of warm toned brown shade. Whoops. So I'm gonna bring this in, and I think I'll also bring in this small ColourPop Ultra Satin Lip in the shade, what is this? Frickin' Frack. This is a really fun, warm toned shade. And I think that's actually, is that gonna do it? Yeah, that's gonna do it for this drawer too. This is the last drawer we'll look at in my Muji drawer system. I do have some backup things in here. So I do have some eyeliners over here. I don't think I'll pull any of those. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm gonna bring in this Kat Von D tattoo liner. This is in the shade Mad Max Brown. I've been wanting to use this for a while, so let's go ahead and just bring it in, use it up. And then I do need a new mascara. It sucks. I purchased during the most recent Sephora VIB sale one of the mascara favorites kits that comes with a voucher, and I put the voucher in my wallet so that I would have it whenever I went into a Sephora and I could exchange the voucher for a Kush mascara, a full size of the Kush mascara. And well, I lost my wallet recently. It's completely gone. Can't find it anywhere. I had to renew my driver's license, had to cancel and request new debit and credit cards, but the voucher is gone forever, so that sucks. That's like $26, $25, $24 value, and but you know, whatever, it is what it is. Could be worse. But I do need a new mascara. I was using the mini version of the Better Than Sex mascara that came in this kit. This is another one, but I think that one's getting kind of dried out. You know, I've been using it for about a month, and these minis I find for me last a month and a half, sometimes a little bit more, but that one's getting a little rough to use. So I want to bring in one of these. I think I'll bring in this one. This is the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes mascara. It's been a while since I've used this mascara, so we'll bring this one in to use for the month, and I think that's gonna do it. So let me fill up my beauty box with all of our picks for the month of June, and then I will show you what everything looks like. All right, so here is my beauty box. Please ignore the mess that's happening on the outsides of it, but in our top drawer here, not too much has changed. I've got some of the shadows that we rolled over from last month, along with a couple of Project Pan shadows, and then the lip products that we brought in, which I think is just these 4 on this side. And then we also have some rollovers from last month and some lip liners and a chapstick. Heads up, Blistex is not cruelty free. Next down here we have some of my tools. This drawer is looking a bit chaotic on this side. I do have a few deluxe size mascaras that I need to just kind of run through. I mean, this is the one we just brought in, but this one I think I have maybe another week or so on of use. And then this one right here, I don't know why it's still in here. I want to use it just to see if it's still good or not. And then I do have 2 eyeshadow primers in here. This one by Ofra I was sent for review from Octoly and from Ofra, and I actually really like it. And then Wet n Wild was the one that I was using a lot, but I'm not gonna be buying from Wet n Wild after their whole lying scandal to their consumers that they weren't selling in China, but then they were selling in China, which makes them not cruelty free by a lot of our standards. I know some people still count them as cruelty free because they don't test on animals, but judging by my own personal cruelty free standards, I will not be buying from them. So it's unfortunate because I recently purchased this, so it's very full, but I am, I think, gonna work to use this one up, and then I'll have this one also to use, but I'll probably put this one back in my collection here pretty soon, but I wanted to get a review-ish out of it because I did get it sent to me. And then this section over here almost never updates. This is just where my special eyeshadows go. So my ColourPop Zodiac Pigment Collection, 2 Kaja cream eyeshadows, and then 2 more Kaja Trios, a Tarte Chrome Pop, I think that's what it's called, and then an Hourglass shadow. Shifting down to the next drawer, this one changed a decent amount. We did pull in these 2 products over here, so the primer and the foundation. This right here, Bare Minerals Concealer. Oh, actually, I'm pulling this out. What am I doing? Oh, there we go. That frees up a little bit of room. All right, so I did exchange this CoverGirl foundation for that Tarte foundation that I just pulled out. I wanted to make sure that I got good use out of that Tarte foundation so that I could get a review out of it, since I did purchase it during the most recent VIB sale, and I used it a lot last month, so I feel pretty good about my opinion on that foundation. This concealer by Bare Minerals, I didn't use it as much because I'm trying to pan this Tarte concealer, so I decided to keep this in so that I could develop more of an opinion on it. This side over here we have 2 Project Pan items, a blush and a highlight, and then the blush palette and the highlight palette that we brought in to use for the month are both in here, so the Kevyn Aucoin and the Jouer blush palette. And then moving down even further, we have the last drawer where I have the Fix Plus that I'm desperately trying to use up. This stuff just lasts forever, but I'm making really good progress on this. I have the Marc Jacobs bronzer that we pulled in. These 2 products are rollovers. They're both in Project Pans. And then I have, oh, and then also under here, a ColourPop powder that's in a Project Pan, and then the Becca powder that we pulled in. So that's what my beauty box looks like right now. Let me show you what the palettes look like. All right, so this looks fuller than it has ever looked before. The Lunar Beauty palette doesn't totally fit in here. It's huge. So I kind of just stuck it in the back. I have the Natasha Denona palette that I am keeping in here for now. I was told by the brand Alter Ego Cosmetics, I think that's what they're called, that they were gonna send me their duped version of this, and I haven't received it in the mail yet, so I'm not totally sure if it's coming or not, but they did say that they were gonna send it to me for review. So I was thinking that if they did, if I received it in the mail, I would do kind of a side-by-side comparison of the 2 palettes. But again, haven't received that yet, not totally sure if it's coming, but they did say they were gonna send it to me, so that's why this is still in here. This Ofra palette was sent to me for review, and I feel decent about how much I've used it, but I thought I would leave it in here because it is a really pretty warm toned palette that I think would look really beautiful for this month, so I decided to leave this in, get some more use out of it. We have the Becca Jaclyn Hill palette that we pulled in. This Kat Von D Shade and Light palette has a shade that's in a current Project Pan. The Tarte palette we pulled in. This Too Faced palette has a shade in a Project Pan, along with the ColourPop and Disney collab palette, Project Pan. The Tarte palette that we pulled in, very excited to get some use out of that since I got it for Christmas and haven't really used it yet. And then my Naked 3, which is in my year-long Project Pan. Holy moly. All right, and there you have it. Those are all of the products that I will be using for the month of June, unless I get something for my birthday. And also, I did order something a couple days ago, end of May, that will be coming, so I guess I'll be using that too. But those are most of the products that I will be using for the month of June. I hope you enjoyed my Shop My Stash for this month. I always like filming these and doing these because, again, it allows me to circulate through and get use out of my collection throughout the year so nothing lays stagnant for too long. If you liked this video, if you like Shop My Stash, please give this one a thumbs up, and if you would like to subscribe for more content from me, don't forget to do so before you go. All buttons are down below, and I think that is everything I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.